I'm Dr. Shan Narayanan. I'm a pediatrician, a coach, and a trainer. I have passion working with children with autism spectrum disorder. I've been a pediatrician for the last 20 years, and over this period, I've gained experience working with these children, diagnosing them, supporting them, and working with the families. As a coach, I render support to their parents to come to terms with the diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder. And as a trainer, I do courses for parents to empower them to support their children to bring out the best. All this inspired me to write this book, Why Me? A Parent's Journey with a Preschool Child with Autism. Over the years, I realized parents, grandparents, preschool teachers, school teachers were having challenges managing children with autism spectrum disorder. This was my main motivation to write this book. This book is the real story of Muhim bin Muhammad Amir Shah Saidi and his parents, Encik Muhammad Amir Shah Saidi bin Saibun and Puan Mohanita Azlina Muhammad. The story is written in a conversational manner, and it is as the mother asks me question, I give her the answers accordingly. And that storyline takes through the journey of the family of coming for the diagnosis and following the diagnosis, engaging the child in intervention, and subsequently getting involved in the management of the child and bringing out the success in this child. In the book, I outline evidence-based strategies to support children with autism spectrum disorder. They are speech therapy, occupational therapy, applied behavior analysis therapy, and social skills development. So, as Muhim progresses, he is engaged into these strategies, and his mother empowers herself, and they bring out the best in him. Success in the development of children with autism spectrum disorder is measured by the progress made in their communication, behavior, sensory processing, and social interaction. So, success is improved communication, decreased behavior difficulty, and better sensory processing and social interaction. Early intervention, as the word says early, the earlier the intervention is started, the better the outcome for the child with autism spectrum disorder. In this book, you will note that as soon as Puan Mohanita realizes that Muhim has autism spectrum disorder, she engages him in early intervention. At the time of engagement, Muhim was non-verbal, but as she engaged him as soon as possible, over the years through early intervention, now he has become verbal. This emphasizes the importance of early intervention. Collaborating with speech therapists, occupational therapists, ABA therapists is absolutely important in my work to support children with autism spectrum disorder. In my book, I provide guidance to parents how to establish effective collaboration with their therapists to bring out a success in their children. We collaborate effectively with our occupational therapists. Children with autism spectrum disorder, as the word says spectrum, they can be either very active or they can be passive. The children who are active, when they undergo, why are they active? Why are they active? They are active because they are unable to process the sensory input into them. And working with occupational therapists and providing this therapy, we have managed to improve the sensory processing of this child and calm the child down, and so that the child engages in activities. Early childhood practitioners can gain from this book. What can they gain? Firstly, this book starts from before diagnosis. That is, it illustrates the symptoms and signs of autism spectrum disorder. So it gives them the knowledge to pick up a child with a different learning style. The second chapter covers diagnosis. So the practitioner can understand how a pediatrician or a psychologist makes the diagnosis. The third chapter is a very detailed explanation in simple language about autism spectrum disorder. Then the fourth chapter is the important part, the intervention, what happens after the diagnosis. And finally, the fifth chapter is how the family copes with the trials and tribulations that they go through with children with autism spectrum disorder. In summary, this book is a comprehensive cover from before diagnosis up to how families with preschool children cope with autism spectrum disorder. The first message is message of hope. Having a child with autism spectrum disorder is not the end of the world. When we know the child has ASD, and we teach him in a way that he understands, they will make progress. And this is clearly illustrated in this book in the experience of Puan Mohanita with her son Muhim. The second message that I would like to give you all is what I call as an acronym ADEL. And what does ADEL stand for? A is acceptance, B is direction, E is empowerment, and L is leadership. I do understand it is very difficult moment when your child is diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. But when you come to terms with it and accept it, there is clarity. And when you get clarity, you move to the second stage, that is direction. That is when you engage your child in early intervention, speech therapy, occupational therapy, in programs that is individualized for them. And in the process of setting the direction, you're finding information, you are learning, you are empowering yourself. And all this leads you to leadership, where you become the leader, where you become the advocate for your child to bring out the best in this child. And this is clearly illustrated in the story of Puan Mohanita, how she was lost. Then she decided to come for a diagnosis. It took her some time to come to terms. As soon as she came to terms, she engaged in early intervention. And thereon, her learning journey started. She empowered, and she has become the leader for Muhim, his advocate, and she has now gone beyond that and become leader to other parents as well. So parents, there is hope. And remember ADEL, acceptance, direction, empowerment, and leadership.